this thing exist?
Just to be an extra puzzle.
Just to be an extra puzzle.
I guess that's the one thing about this game that a lot of people complained about was didn't have, a lot of puzzles, and the puzzles it did have weren't complex. And that's fine, but it's still a fantastic sequel.
I agree. It's the T2 to RE1's T1.
Hell yeah, that's the best way to put it. Or you could say it's the Aliens to Alien. It's just such a fantastic sequel.
Yeah, boy.
Well, for my Predator fans out there, it's the Predator 2 to the first Predator.
Okay, you lost me there.
No, wait, Predator 2 was way better than the first Predator.
You're crazy.
That's a hot take.
That is a very hot
dude.
take.
It is so much cooler than the first Predator.
You get to see more boobies.
Yeah, but think about it. You got a new hunter, right? You're in a different setting. You're in the concrete jungle. Now, he's got all kinds of cool, awesome toys. And look at Danny Glover. The guy almost died so many times. And the only way he can kill it is using its own technology against it. And then at the end, we get to see this beautiful ship that's been there for a long time. They've been here for a while, hunting us every 10 years. You get an entire clan, and they got an entire beautiful trophy room filled with all of their spoils from across, the galaxy, or who knows, maybe even several galaxies, depending on, what their reaches are, capabilities are. And then the coolest thing, too, the greatest setup was the xenomorph skull. That drove everyone bananas because a lot of people actually thought that Alien 3 was going to be like a possible Aliens versus Predator almost sequel.
Yeah.
Well,
Leon,
I agree that that
just
was
found
cool,
out. John's dead.
but I
What?
vehemently
Never
disagree, and
Let's just
respectfully
get out of
so,
here. The sooner the better.
because it is a great film, and I do really like Predator 2. But I don't think it's anywhere near the original. Well, it's not miles away, but it's just not the original. And because you're obviously establishing a lot of, the suspense there. You've got, the cast again is great. There isn't as much little things like that because it's all an unknown quantity, but it's cool how they linked it into the universe and stuff like that. And Danny Glover's great. It's a great film. I love Predator 2, but I just love the first one even more. We'll have to have a proper discussion on that.
Yes, that's
Oh, hell yeah.
Get some more points.
That's definitely
That's
a
episode
podcast
17.
episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And the title of it is going to be Predator 2 is better, like the most controversial take.
Yes.
The Predator, and I respect the fact that you set how you see it, and I'm not just lost in the glamour of it just being because it's the original, and that's why it's the best in this instance. Because, but I think there is some really cool shit in the in both films. But yeah.
Oh, yeah. The original has its moments, don't get me wrong, but you know what it is? It's like, for me, I'm assuming you watched it as a kid too.
Yeah.
But for me, when I was watching it as a kid, it was just so boring. Just watching these guys out in the jungle shooting people. To me, it didn't make sense. I didn't understand the storyline, and it didn't start getting spicy or interesting until finally the hunter, really starts taking them out, and then they all get separated. And then, I remember being a kid only really gaining interest in it when finally it's just down to Arnold. He's by himself. Everyone else is, already on the run or dead. And he's now going to try to trap this thing. And obviously, that's the point of the film, too, is, that's the great payoff at the end. We finally get to see what the hunter looks like. And, that is obviously, the best part of the film. But I like number 2 more because I feel like we get a lot more of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't feel like
I
you have to
think that-
wait as long.
I don't disagree with the point that like you get more, but I don't mind the wait because I originally thought I was like watching a action movie, and I thought the plot was enough that there was people off the grid and they these Cambodian like I don't know what they are. I can't remember whether they were like
Yeah,
some
they're like Colombian or something like that. Some type
yeah.
of South American cartel people.
So there is a plot that they need to, so that for me was enough. And then I thought the action sequence and all the guns and the grenade launchers and all the explosions was more than enough for me. And it started off, there was a bit of build up, and then it went really hot, and then gradually this unsettling, unnerving kind of process that they weren't alone and people were, they found the flesh torn off people, and they were just. And then it's the gradual like cat and mouse against something so superior. I think the dynamic really worked, and I think that's why it's why it's a good why it's a great film in essence.
Oh no, it definitely is a great film.
It's just I mean, like I say, I come from a place where I really like the second film. I don't like a lot of other films other than those two in the franchise. I'm not really a big fan of the Alien. I like the concept of Alien versus Predator, but I think it was all done a lot better in like some of the comics and graphic novels and things that I read. Like the first film
were
was
way better.
Yeah, as is often
The
the
S.D. Perry
way.
books. The S.D. Perry books were way better.